Friends, welcome to Warhammer 40K Imperium Maledictum Archipelago Episode 8. We spent the entire time before we started the stream talking about our commiserations of government work. I'm practicing for my anti-dunamis speed speaking. I'm gonna get him. Thanks for that resub, Omar.
An anti-dunamis stream at some point.
I'm thinking the next intro hour I'm gonna do an anti-dunamis stream where I just randomly speed up at certain times and maybe try to make my words such that a AI voice interpreter can't get it, but humans can kind of get it.
Should we just pre-record 2 hours and play it at 2 times speed?
I was considering doing several sections that were 10 seconds long at normal speed or even fast speed, and then editing it even faster at half the time, and then do sections of slow talking and of 5 seconds and stretch it out to 10, and that way it still comes out to an hour. But pre-recording 2 hours at too fast, that's too furious for me.
Wow.
Got him. We begin the episode with Magos Ezekiel Sigma 4 gesturing to his screen, which ends with a picture of a Carnifex that has the bottom text words "Distraction Carnifex?" ? And hey guys, that's everything I can brief you about Tyranids. So just to sum up, you're here because various things happened while you were tracking someone for Lord Colonel Renard. We need you to bring back the Contagi for us. If you fail to do so, we'll be upset with the rogue trader, and there will be consequences for the relationship between the trading house and our organization. We're also going to invoice your rogue trading house for having to remove all of the heretic from your various devices. Apparently, they all suffered some sort of malfunction from a rogue entity. Any questions, comments, concerns? If you reach underneath your chair, you will find a ink and quill, and you'll also find a hospitality card to fill out how this prison experience stay has been for you. We highly value your feedback here at the Magos Biologus. Not many Mechanicus prisons care about your stay, but because we study the human condition, we just want to know that you've been slightly uncomfortable. That's our aim. So
I really hope that the video about Tyranids was like one of those 1940s style upbeat black and white cartoons. It's like, here's Timmy. Timmy wants to learn about Tyranids. Say hi, Timmy. Hello.
That would be amazing.
Or one of those loud circular slide projectors.
Oh God! You hear the mechanics and it
makes the noise as you crank to the next one. Yes. Yeah, that's canon. That's the one right there for me.
Oh yeah, that's definitely Warhammer 40K.
There's no
you gotta
movement,
have the clunky
there's
one.
just a moving of images.
Yeah. It's pretty high tech though. We use the overhead projector normally in our office. So this entity, is that dealt with now, or is that still going to be an ongoing problem for that part of the station?
Don't worry about that. Leave that to the Mechanicus. I'm sure that the Omnissiah will see that their will is done. And wherever we go, even as biologists, we do carry out the will of the Omnissiah. Praise be.
I think Rassie has the whole briefing had his primer open to the Tyranids section, and is now just visibly sweating at the end of the brief and isn't saying anything. It's just sort of
yeah, there's so much more information that he briefed you with, and it wasn't even that long.
Yeah.
I feel like the primer's got a single page, and half of that page is an image of some Tyranid. Meanwhile, we've got like a 2-hour PowerPoint presentation given to us by
Uh,
rotary slide machine.
yeah, that comes out to about 2 pages worth of content.
There's definitely a detailed breakdown about carnifexes for sure. At the Mechanicus presentation, like average body temperature.
All right, I'll fill out the form.
Okay. As you finish filling out the form, he dumps a servo skull on the table that you recognize as being somewhat familiar, and he says, "Can I ask why your group had a inquisitorial issue servo skull following you?"
Can I ask, do you think if it is an inquisitorial servo skull that we're allowed to tell you why it's following us around?
I had to ask. You'd be surprised what people will tell you if you just ask them questions.
I mean, I think you can probably
write that down somewhere.
I think you can probably extrapolate for yourself what we can't say.
Well, we will be repairing and purging it and then sending a bill invoicing the Inquisition.
All right. Do they have a postal address? Do you know of?
The High Lords of Terra.
Okay.
You would be surprised what the Inquisition can break.
Yeah.
Well, you're free to go. Our shuttle pilot will take you anywhere you'd like within system.
Cetus Delta would be sufficient, I think.
Very
Or
well.
are we still on? No, we went to a different asteroid or whatever, didn't we?
You've been lots of places.
Yeah, we want to go home, I think. Is that right?
Well, I mean,
We're going back.
they have given you the Mechanicus have given you a time deadline for how long they have until they want you to get this Kentucky for them. Or they'll rearrest you and cause a lot of problems. And of course, you have the outstanding deal from Lord Colonel Renaud, who wants the Kentucky dead.
Yeah.
But he doesn't think it's a Kentucky. He thinks it's a random woman who could be in his care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, the business person who was like, what we need to do is get her to infect somebody else, give that infected Kentucky to the Magos, kill her and give her body to the colonel. That way we get to fulfill both orders. But I don't think we want to do anything for the colonel.
Yeah.
I don't know if Holly's ready to go down that road just yet.
Right. I don't think Rassie has processed the conversations occurring. He's
Yeah.
still the tiny grinding gears in his head are trying to catch up with everything in the briefing.
Yeah, I think we want to go back to the Darkwind compound so we can, process and discuss. So,
Okay. After a series of encounters with people who blare binarically at you and state what emotion they wish for their intonal inflection to be while speaking, you find yourself shipped back to the correct site and given leave to exit their ship. They, of course, are not allowed to leave their ship and go on the docks because Mechanicus are still banned.
Never mind
the local population.
Never mind that they kidnapped us from CTS Delta, but whatever.
Kidnap is such a strong word.
I'm not going to argue with the GM on this one.
They purified heretic from your personage.
All of our stuff works.
It does indeed work.
Damn.
Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? And
I think I was
of
going to have
course-
Velamris ask the admech see if he can get some more unguents, but too late. We just have to do it when we finish the job, I guess. Are we going back to the compound then? Because I feel like that's probably that, or if it's late in the day, that or going home.
Well,
Well, I
you've
mean,
got
there's no sunlight here, so late in the day is a very subjective term.
This is true.
it is getting late, and you are 2 days away from the basketball game, 7 days away from the testing, and I believe tomorrow is when you're meeting with the ecclesiarchal committee.
No, that was supposed to be the same day as you made it the same day as the
the basketball.
game.
Yes, to mess with you.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, which is why I wanted to get pom pom add-ons for the servo skull, so that there was a cheerleader in my absence.
No. You can buy a
Make
new,
them muted colors. They don't have to be bright.
You can get a new servo skull that you own and do whatever you want with it. You can't take your listen. You can't put a Hello Kitty case on your government issue BlackBerry. That's what I'm telling you.
Oddly specific reference, but whatever.
Tell me I'm wrong.
What would it cost to buy a cheerleader cherub?
AP's face too.
You know what? I'll tell you what, James. You come back to me with the price because you know the items list better than me.
Okay. Yeah, it's strange enough. There's nothing that really compares. But I'll
what
have a
about
look.
From the Rogue Trader or Dark Heresy books in the past?
Well, I mean, should I just treat it as the same cost as a monotask servo skull?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, that's more than I've got. No, it's not. I could afford it. I could afford it. But they are rare as well, so it's only a 50% chance of finding a cheerleader cherub. Well, let's put the dice aside, shall we? I'm gonna see if.
Ooh, the dice will tell us.
There we go. This incredibly important.
Nope. No, there's no cheerleader cherubs for sale on CT's Gamma right now. So, all right. Sorry, I took that off track. Back on track again.
Hey, just running towards the evening.
Cheer up.
You tell me what you want to do.
Well, Velamris is definitely going to say something to the effect of, we need a plan of how to track this woman down and get her to the AdMech. And then how we're going to somehow clarify all that with Lord Colonel What's-His-Face, because Rassie needs to be cleared of whatever Lord Colonel What's-His-Face is angry about.
So, just to be clear, I don't think it's necessarily the right thing either to be giving a contagious xenoform to a Magos Biologus. Like, that I know of, they don't have the authority to experiment with alien biology. Their focus is human biology. So they may simply have outed themselves as tech heretics. And given that our inquisitorial friend was along for the ride, hopefully, the Inquisition can do something about that, because I don't know how good our right of everything's being permitted is when no one ever steps in to say, no, these people can do that. Every time we get caught, we've got to talk out of it, and there's no actual sort of way to utilize what we've apparently been given.
And yet, no one has executed you yet. Strange.
Yeah, that's true.
Despite several pretty edge cases.
Yeah. But that's hey, we've talked our way out of those cases as well.
Wow. So it sounds like you didn't actually need Imperial writ then.
Yeah.
Wow.
I have to admit, I don't understand much about the differences in the organizations within. I'd never even heard of the Biologus before today.
Well, as a famulus, I know a lot about the Biologus because we deal in genetic lineages. But once again, if they came to me in my capacity as a sister famulus and said, "Hey, we'd love to mix this xeno blood with human blood," I'd be like, "Seize them." So
that does seem rather heretical.
So Rassie, someone approaches you and says, sorry, did I hear you say you didn't understand the different aspects of Imperial administration?
And you'll just look and see who's talking to him.
So it's someone wearing the Rogue Trader's colors. It's like someone who works here at the building.
Oh, so it would be Gropsis.
The janitor rat. According to their neck collar, they appear to be working in the savant department. They pull out a collapsible cane and begin to start humming and go boom-ba, 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 boom-ba. And it's clear that they're doing this thing where they're speaking but also preparing to break into a song at any moment. So, pal, I heard that you needed help with Imperial administration. It just so happens that I happen to be composing a musical which covers every aspect of the Imperial administration known publicly, and even several that are known secretly. What do you say to that?
This sounds quite helpful.
Okay, Rassie,
suddenly it's a musical episode.
You're gone, Rassie. You're gone. This person begins pulling you off camera as you are being taken on a walk around the block where each aspect of Imperial administration as it is represented to the local citizenry is pointed out to you.
The singing and dance.
All right, James, I know you didn't write that. I know you got an AI to write that, but it's pretty good.
$40K Oompa Loompas.
Well,
Yeah,
Holly, Velamris, you are left there. It's pretty clear that there's like a 7 to 9 minute musical interlude being done where Rassie is also expected to pick up what to say so that it can be rhymed with.
That's amazing. I think Velamris is just...
Is there a performance skill or something that we could do? Since Rassie's in a musical now.
I mean, it's presence. Presence would be it, yeah.
Okay. You want me to roll presence to see how this musical scene goes with Rassie's
Hold
part?
on, let me look. I would almost take navigation musical as a subtype. Yeah, I'll take presence with no specialization. Or, you know what? I'll actually take rapport charm.
Can I roll presence?
No, rapport charm.
Damn. Okay.
I'm not going to let James decide how a musical runs.
He's already got all the lyrics going.
Hey!
Nice.
No, an AI has decided what all the lyrics are.
Hey, I go with the parameters.
Okay. You can tell I give that as much respect as when people are like, yeah, man, like, you have to really know what to input to get the AI art out. So really, this is a piece that I created.
To be clear, my question was, can you tell me about the different branches of the Administratum in the Warhammer 40,000 universe in the form of an Oompa song?
Wow.
And it gave me 7 verses.
Wow.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I actually almost want to read that.
Dee. We can talk about the Inquisition to thee.
Well, I like that I got that +1 success.
Yeah.
It's surprisingly on key.
The two of you end with both of you having your hands on a lamppost and swinging wide, you know, so that you form a W with your arms and bodies, and you just end on a high note, and then and everyone in the background that got involved in the song because they heard it and were just like, wow, I'm pretty sure I can predict what the next line's going to be based on what they just said. And the background characters all just immediately turn and resume whatever they were doing.
Yeah.
Sweeping the streets or whatever.
I have to say that, you know, to have a well-rounded workplace, we need pursuits physical, intellectual, and cultural. We've hit the physical with the basketball game. Do we need to start an office musical?
This could be the Office musical episode.
That would be fantastic.
All right, I'm gonna write down get my writing pad out and write like a sign-ups board and put it on the pegboard in the office, like in the cafeteria.
Oh, you want to go to what's the Warhammer 40K version of regionals? Sectors? Yeah, we're taking this team to sectors, okay?
No, not competitive. Just like, you know, but it's like how, you know, in Monsters Inc. they have the company musical, you know. So I'm going to put expressions of interest form up on the pegboard in the cafeteria,
of course,
for people who want to express interest in joining the musical society in the office.
Well, Rassie has an inflated sense of ability right now. Sign up.
Yeah, got to have that first name. That first name breaks the ice for people, you know. But no one wants to be first.
The first name is John Everyman, and it was on there when you put the poster up. Okay, well, you awkwardly wait 7 to 9 minutes for Rassie's musical to end. And when he comes back, you're really questioning where the music came from in the first place.
Was there a loudhailer somewhere nearby?
I look at the servo skull knowingly.
The servo skull looks back at you.
All right, we should probably let Liturgical know about the incoming invoice and just tell him not to pay it. I hear that 50% of invoices aren't paid anyway, so
please don't do this, James. This is almost as bad as the story of you eating other people's lunches from the company refrigerator. Please.
When someone sends you an invoice, ask them for a copy of your purchase order.
Okay. There we go. It's hard to argue with that when I just gave Omar the same advice. But medically.
Yeah.
You find Liturgical filling out paperwork. He looks up at you and says, "So, you're back."
Yep.
I assume Rassie's with you?
Yes. Just a heads up, we were arrested by the Mechanicum for being in the wrong place at the wrong time, and they're apparently billing the Rogue Trader for their incarceration of us, and they're playing with our hardware.
Sure. These kinds of things happen when you work for a Rogue Trader. We have a absurdity fund set aside to cover these kinds of things.
I would have thought you had a squadron of awesome legal counsel that will just send them multiple letters of direct demand to stand down.
We do, but not for something as small as this. I mean, this is just minor equipment repair.
You haven't seen the bill yet. I mean, I haven't seen the bill. I'm just saying, you know, it's the Mechanicum.
I'll tell you what, if it's substantial or you somehow manage to get billed for one of the cruisers, then we'll have a different conversation.
Okay. So, hey, I'm just going to quickly write down.
For an itemized. This is a pre-game reference. Don't worry about it, audience, if you don't get it.
So I'm going to go over to our job board and just add deal with Kintaji onto the board as one of our activities, and
okay.
Put the
when you do that, Liturgical walks over and erases and says, "You can't write that word on this board."
Okay.
You realize that's a highly classified. How do you even know about that?
We were just briefed.
Okay, well, let's come up with a code word.
Hold on. How do you know about that?
He turns and he stares sightlessly at you through his blindfold and says,
"Okay."
And then he turns away.
Message received.
Can I have suggestions for our code word?
Doohickey.
Let's just put a name down. What's the name again? Is
Violeta.
Violeta. There we go. Deal with Violeta.
Yeah, I think that
All
works.
right, he goes, Wow, Violeta's a Kentucky? I guess that kind of makes sense.
Do you know her?
I have your reports about everything you've been doing lately.
Oh, okay. No worries. Sorry. I thought
I mean, I don't know her personally.
Okay. I would encourage you not to do so, since she may be
that would not
a contagious xenoform.
That would not be a pleasant experience for any of us.
Well, I mean, she's human, kind of, in a manner of speaking.
I believe the term was mostly.
Wow, it'd be really cool if someone made a show called Mostly Human. Carl Urban could be in it.
Who's Carl Urban? What are you talking about, liturgical?
Well, he's the guy that when he has long hair, he's in fantasy movies, but when he has short hair, he's in sci-fi movies.
Right, Can confirm.
Actually, now that I think about it, that definitely checks out.
And there's been more than one Carl Urban, of course. I mean, it's the 42nd millennia. But whoever inherits the title must follow the rules set by the first
40-something thousand years from now, there's still it's like the Warhammer version of Duncan, Idaho.
At some point, I'm going to tell you the story that Cullivan told me about Simon Pegg.
Wow.
Yep.
Very specific.
This could have name drop there, but yeah.
Yeah. No names were dropped. And speaking of Violeta, we do need to figure out how exactly we're going to approach and handle this situation.
Okay, brief me when you've finished determining that.
Oh yeah, that was. I'm sorry, liturgical. I was talking to the sister and.
Yeah, we'll go stand on the other side of the room. We'll go stand by Rassie.
I'll go back and finish doing my paperwork while you do your jobs, which I'm encouraged to see you doing for once.
You're like, no, they're just having a conversation with the sister and Rassie. Like, looked over at Rassie, who's finished the elated musical and has now got like a ration pack with the 5 mile stare, just like slowly eating it.
So, Rassie, it looks like you need to get something off your chest.
No, I'm protecting the bastion of my mind right now.
Ignorance is bliss, they say.
That was a lot of information. That was a lot of information, and a lot of information that has me highly motivated to find Violet.
I think the big question is one group wants her dead, the other group wants her for whatever reason. Which do we serve? We can't serve two masters. There's only one, and he rests on Terra. But we do need to figure something out.
When you say that, by the way,
sooner the better.
Liturgical throws up the horns when you say that. He says, yep, been there, done that.
He's met the Emperor. Of course he knows.
I don't think turning Violet into Colonel Renard will do anything for me or us. Or my other surviving guardsmen. It just covers up a mistake and allows... I don't expect anything to change for us in that route. And if what the sister says is true about the biologists, don't think we can do that either. But
so what
she does need to be stopped.
Yeah. So my feeling is that I don't want to go to the biologists, but I want her to go away in such a way that is not tied to us, like something that was completely outside of our control.
You're looking for a blameless way out.
Yeah, that's right. And I think I have an idea.
Okay.
I mean, look. Unfortunately, right now the only tool I have is a hammer, and this problem is starting to look like a nail.
I have a rifle.
No. It needs to be. I don't want it to come back to us.
Well, it's a shame the tunnel snakes are dead. I'm sure we could have got them to do
it. Wait, what hammer are you referring to, sister?
Well, I mean, there's always the what the order of the wrathful righteous, but yeah, I want to be a little bit more circumspect as well. I know that
Hold on, just to summarize, in case people have forgotten who that is, you want to be more subtle than unleashing a cult of flamethrower wielding psychopaths with scripture in their hand.
religious psychopaths.
Yeah, with scripture in their hand. Yeah.
I'm just saying I want a long fuse. I don't mean a long time. I mean like a big separation between where I light the fuse and where the explosion occurs.
In a Venn diagram, we're more towards the outer edge than the inner edge.
Yeah.
So you're not worried about us being tied to it. You just don't want us to be present for it. You want us to take
Sort
that
of.
personal
Yeah.
risk?
Like I want things to unfold naturally. But now, obviously, this means we can't fulfill either objective because we can't give, a body which has been mutilated and burnt to the colonel either. But we can certainly show both sides proof that she's dead, and we had no way of preventing it.
Mm.
Like I don't really care for making either side's job easier. I just want to get both sides off our back.
I think that's the bigger problem, because if we favor one over the other, we end up with a major faction looking disfavorably on the rogue trader.
Well, I'm in agreement with the sister. I don't think we want to favor either. I think we just want to appease them enough without giving them what they want.
Yes, I think that's... But the question then is, how do we effectuate such a thing?
Let me sleep on it, because it is late.
I don't think it would be difficult to get the flamethrowers to a place. We would just think of how to get Violeta to the same place.
Which, if I'm not mistaken, everybody looking for her is either dead, ends up on a different asteroid talking to people with mechadendrites sticking out the backside of them. I forgot where I was going with this, but basically she can't be found.
Of course, you've tried nothing and you've run out of options. Yeah. You've done literally nothing to find her.
We went to her house.
There was a trail that we were keen to follow before we were captured.
But once again, like, the mechanics didn't even tell us that whatever happened there has gone away now. Like, I don't know whether if we go in there and they haven't yet finished cleansing it, suddenly the same problem's going to occur with our gear again.
Well,
I'm trying to remember, did we get any
there
other
are some
sort of
pieces
leads?
There are some pieces of equipment that have a more robust machine spirit, and he swings up the shotgun and racks it.
Hey, where's the car?
Oh, that's a great question.
Did they give it? Did they send us back with that? Because they took us in our... Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Cool,
they gave you all of your equipment back cleansed of the silica anima.
Yeah.
But maybe we should get some rest. But I do think we could try to follow that trail. To at least see if we can find Violeta, or what has become of her.
All right. Can we leave it till tomorrow morning? I do want to go to Firebrand's office in the morning before we start our search. But
I think tabling it for now is perhaps the wisest move, since we're not getting a lot of traction here.
It's been a day.
I think when he says traction, he's going to look at liturgical to see if he notices that he used a corporate type sounding word.
Liturgical is taking a nap.
Of course he is.
It's been a day. Let's put the day behind us.
Tomorrow's always a great day to serve the Emperor.
No. Let's put the day behind us is definitely the key word for the three of you to begin moving into the city streets as, a lone piano plays a few notes. That is 100% the title of a song that's about to break out. We find ourselves back at your living domiciles. Your doorman having handed over your post for the evening. Each of you cooking one pre-made ration bar of meals and having a ration of good, clean water with everything bad filtered out. A few hours for personal entertainment. So I'm curious, now that we've had 2 musicals, where are your heads at? Like, what are you know that you are in a time crunch? Renard wants you to do something. Ezekiel Sigma 4 wants you to do something. You've got a basketball game coming up, which is not negligible. Certainly it's not as bad as I'll arrest you, but you have a lot of things in the air, and you still got to find this woman, or at the very least eliminate her so no one can have her. So I'm curious how you spend your free time. Are you nervous? Are you stressed? I feel like I'm about to break out into a song now.
I think Velamris is, he's got the conspiracy boards, because he's got the one that's dedicated to Sister Dawn Latenya, the living saint, as he tries to piece all of the exploits of the Cow's dynasty into something, more coherent than what he can get his hands on. But he's also got the other one relating to this job and the various groups that he's encountered here and how they're all tied together. Ostensibly as part of his investigation for the Administratum, truthfully trying to figure out the best way to help the Trader House. Velamris is starting to feel some of that pressure, but he's definitely, I think one of the first things he's going to do is he's looking at some of the known associates of Violeta and seeing where their paths may intersect with others and trying to come up with some sort of a plan as to where to start the feet on the street search in the morning.
I'll tell you what. I will let you make a lore roll.
Okay.
If you don't take a negative to it, this lore roll will be about leads for finding Violeta. If you take a negative 20 to it, it will be about Dawn Latenya and the Cow's dynasty and how that relates to everything you're doing right now. And it will be a very short, brief inspiration. It will not be a full fact. But if you are successful, I will allow you to take a forbidden lore talent.
What would Velamris do in that situation?
Well, tell me, have you ever heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
You've been throwing that line out so much.
I love it so much so.
I don't listen to hip hop.
Yeah, boy.
All right. You said minus 20?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put a fate point on it.
Oh, to take advantage on it? Okay.
Yeah. Damn. But I definitely changed it from a 96.
Impressive. You want to spend another fate point to re-roll it?
It's only the first third. I gotta.
I mean, you got a couple, and the goal is to have exactly 0 at the end of every session, right?
That is not the goal. Do not.
The goal is to keep one, just in case I need the God Emperor to save my bacon.
That's
I will
my
re-roll
goal.
it though. I will re-roll it.
Okay.
Is there?
You re-roll with advantage.
Yeah. Let's see.
If you hit up enter, it should re-roll the last roll.
I was just rebuilding the roll.
Well. Okay, you can now take Forbidden Lore Heresy. One name keeps coming back to you. One piece of forbidden knowledge. You're looking for what connection a rogue trader house, a second rogue trader house, Dawn Latenya, Cal's dynasty, events from hundreds of years ago, inquisitorial seals are everywhere and nowhere. Knowledge that you want has simply been removed from your path. And yet, at the edge of text, at something you photocopied in the administratum, at just a report of rumors you've gotten from someone that hasn't been redacted, there's one word that keeps coming back. Harlock. You don't know what it means, but it sounds important.
As a player, I vaguely recall what Harlock is. Okay. Plus one Cthulhu
So
mythos.
tell me, have you ever heard the tragedy of Erasmus Harlock?
I recall something about a mirror, a few bloodlines that may or may not have had the same name at some point.
You're going to need a lot more than that to unravel this one.
Well, yeah.
We're at time. We're going to take our break, and when we come back, we'll figure out what Holly and Rassie are doing in their downtime. What commercial am I going to put in this break? Let me think pretty hard about it.
It's got to be a musical one.
I'm going to be flat honest with you. I'm not going to do a musical, but I could do a commercial for a musical. That's in my wheelhouse.
I am working on a commercial for you, AP, by the way, as well.
O faithful servants of the God Emperor, I am Sister Holly of the Order of Hallowed Glass. Do you see the enemies of mankind all about you? Do the streets of your world teem with fetid masses of unclean heresy? Is your battlefield choked with the foul stench of the alien? Worry no longer, for I have come to offer unto you the divine fury of the wrathful righteous. Led by the indomitable Father Firebrand, these devout zealots wield the flames of holy retribution and the ferocity of blessed hatred against all who dare defy his divine will. Blood for the God Emperor, skulls for the Golden Throne, such is their sacred creed. Whether you face duplicitous heretics, foul Xenos, or accursed demons, enlist the wrathful righteous today and witness the cleansing fire of hatred consume your enemies. For the Imperium, Ave Imperator.
You know, if I've done this correctly, I moved Omar back to where he's supposed to be. Let's see if that worked out. Yes, it did. That's the power of using Zoom over something like Skype or Discord. That's the power of science.
Science, bitches.
But
Sorry, AP.
Glamorous, get out. Rassie, Holly, what de-stressing or re-stressing activities are you doing as the pressure's on, but you still need to sleep?
Look, I think that for Holly, because she doesn't sort of try to get too emotional during the day, that she sort of lets it out at the evening by, sitting down with like a box of tissues and her favorite romantic film, The Data Pad.
Is it about a data pad that travels through the warp back in time? Just want to be really clear that this is a Notebook reference, right?
Yes.
That's pretty good.
I think that requires a roll. I think that's just
No, you're good. Okay, moving on. Rassie, what do you got?
So, I think that can I go ahead and say that there's a ceiling fan in this room?
Sure.
So Rassie's got the lights low and the ceiling fan going, and he's like sitting at the foot of whatever pad he sleeps on in there. And he's got like one foot up and the other foot just like dangling off because he can't quite reach the floor. And he's got the bullet from the revolver in between finger and thumb, and he's just sort of rolling it around while he stares into the middle distance for a little bit. stressing about all the stuff that he learned and the danger that Violeta poses. And as he continues to stress himself out more instead of relaxing, he's going to try to start to read the inscription.
Do you have High Gothic now?
I do.
Okay.
Thanks to the sister.
Okay. We cut back in time, black and white. We see your former commanding officer sitting there carving something onto a bullet, looking up occasionally to see you and the rest of the members of your squad. He starts by inscribing a inquisitorial sigil onto it, and then follows our good man, our good Lieutenant Drider, with the following message. Hold on. To any who can read this, I warn you that Holly Van der Velt is a target of a rebellion coming soon. My inquisitorial duties have led me to believe that someone as high as a cardinal is preparing chaos on our capital shrine world. The forces of fate conspire against her. She must be protected from the coming storm of blood.
Can I just say, I love the concept of someone who thinks the best way to protect somebody is writing their name in a not often spoken language on a bullet, so that someone that sees it that doesn't read language go, oh, here's a proper noun and a bullet. I wonder how these two things are connected.
Also, that's a really long message to put onto a bullet. It was written really small and wrapped it around a few times.
It's a 40K revolver round. It's big. Yeah. It's big enough.
It's in subscript.
Font size 2.
We cut back to the present. You're reading a message from the past from Inquisitor Drider, not Lieutenant Drider. And the rebellion he spoke about already happened years ago.
Did it?
Yeah, it was the fracas on Macarius.
Or was it?
Okay. I appreciate your follow-ups.
Or do you?
The fracas on Macarius. That almost sounds like a song.
Incredible follow-up, I have to say. You know, they say the best jokes comes in 3, so that one really sealed the deal. That was professionally done. Thank you.
I think after he finishes reading it, he spins the cylinder, drops the round in, and then flicks it shut.
Wow.
He continues to stare. He's not going to get much sleep. He's just very stressed out. His responsibilities in the universe got a lot bigger than it was when he was just trying to stay alive.
Rassie, whatever passes for staring at a ceiling for hours is ended 2 minutes before your alarm goes off, as you have a knock on the door and the postman slides a envelope underneath the door to your residence.
Go over and pick it up.
It has the Rogue Trading House, House Darkwind's sigil and seal on it. And when you break the wax on the back, it is a letter from Liturgical informing you that there is a short window of opportunity directly after the basketball game for you to make your presentation to Sector Lord Aulus Sejanus. He has arranged for a Space Marine Primarch Librarian to be present with the Sector Lord so that they can withstand the message that he will be sending.
But a Primarch Librarian.
Right? Not Primarch. What's the other thing? where you become a super space marine?
Primaris.
No, the other one. Oh, is it called Primaris?
The Primaris are like the new enhanced space marines.
What's the other word for it? Rubicon. My God.
Across the Rubicon Primaris is the procedure that makes a marine
regular marines. Yes. Well, it doesn't matter about that.
Marine.
I said Primarch.
But not a Primarch. Okay,
not
it's not like Rabu Guilliman there is, or
yeah. I meant Primaris Librarian.
Yeah. Okay.
And not Primaris Librarian. Like, I believe Primaris Librarian is a rank of telepath. Right? Am I crazy about that one? This is a Primaris Marine who is a librarian.
Yeah.
So there will be a Primaris librarian coming here to send a message?
No, he will be present to receive the message at the far end.
Okay.
If you'll recall, or just a quick flashback, when you arranged for this, he stopped to ask you, Liturgical asked you if you were prepared for the price to be paid for this message.
Okay.
He's basically told you that in order for this message to be received on the far end, a live point-to-point communication between two people, it will require one of the strongest minds in the galaxy.
So you better start working on your elevator pitch.
Yeah, because this, just to be very clear, this is basically never done. This is forbidden.
And for a blank.
So you better be ready for your 5-minute pitch, because people could die as a result of this ritual. Little Primarch's Pizza, get out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Hate that. Absolutely hate that.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
You get Little Magnus Pizza, it could be anything. There could be anything on that plate.
So Rassie reads this, already tired, still stressed out, having just turned off the alarm and started the recap. And Rassie's stress grew 3 sizes this morning.
Good.
It's a good thing we don't have a stress mechanic like Alien RPG, huh?
Ooh.
What do you guys want to do for the day? Your schedule is under your control.
I did want to go out to Father Firebrand's offices.
Okay.
Whoever wants to come with me to come along as well.
Oh yeah, Velamris is definitely going to want to come along because try to figure out where this Violeta chick is.
I think Rassie wants to go to the office to try to help put some stuff together to help us out with our jobs while you go to the meeting.
All right.
Rassie's very obviously visibly tired.
You had to Father Firebrand's office.
Last night?
You find him deployed in the streets, harassing passerbys and questioning about their level of faith outside of his gas station turned cult headquarters.
Well, so I'm not approaching him. I want to go in. I want to speak with what's the name behind the counter? Petunia.
Yeah, I think that was her name.
Was it Petunia or Patchouli?
It was Petunia. We made Patchouli references.
There we go. Yes, you speak to Petunia. She is pouring herself a pitcher of sweet tea and chewing gum, and she says, "Oh, hey, you're back again. Welcome."
Morning. How are you?
I'm just fine. Can I get you a glass of sweet tea for either of you?
Yeah, I'll take one, please.
Okay. Well, there you will. I wasn't planning to stay long, but I just wanted to drop something off for Father Firebrand. But did you hear what happened yesterday?
Oh, yeah. You mean about the announcement of the Mavens? Who knows what they could be selling?
No. Remember we dropped right here yesterday and we got the address for Violeta?
Oh, yeah, Violeta. How's she doing?
Well, we went to her place and all manner of things went wrong there. There was something, I can only say this because I'm a sister of the order, but there was dark magics had been worked about her place.
Oh my gosh.
and now she's missing. And I was really worried about Father. I mean, remember how insistent she was upon being with him.
Oh
I saw
yeah,
things,
it annoyed the hell out of me.
I saw things in that apartment that, I mean, I'm worried he's in real danger. What I came by was, remember I dropped off that axe the other day. Well, I stopped and I blessed some water. I thought he might want to use it just to libate the axe because technology was actually failing in the area around her apartment through some sort of profane arts.
Are you saying she's some sort of dark mechanicus sorcerer?
I don't know what she is. I just know she's dangerous, and I want to make sure the father is protected.
Of course. I'm going to add her to the kill list. You know, I have to say, between you and me, I've been looking forward to doing this for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, you're such a lovely person. I'm surprised.
I appreciate that. I hate that bitch. I feel like I've made no attempt to hide that from anyone in any of your interactions with me.
No, out of character, that's exactly what I thought she would do.
I just didn't, out of character, I just didn't think it was that obvious. I knew she didn't like her, but wow, there's a difference between not liking her, like I will kill her right now.
She was definitely looking for any excuse to deal with Violeta. So, yeah. All right. Well, if you think that's best, I'll be keeping my eye out too. But if there's any way we can help, please let us know, of course.
Oh, sure. Feel free to drop by any time if you've got any more hot goss and you want to spill the tea, she says as she finishes pouring sweet tea for Velamris and says, I think there's no way, but I did hear that she had family somewhere else in the sector and that she said things like, oh, if something ever happens to me, I'm going to get on a ship and I'm going to go out there and leave this life behind.
Do you know whereabouts? I hope that they're not involved in this.
Oh, I hope they're not involved either. But, if we have to purge her whole family, really, what would be the loss? To wipe out her genetic legacy.
I'll take her hand. I'll put my other hand over the top and say, Petunia, you're one of the good ones.
Oh, thank you so much. I think it was the mining operation on Forecast 63 is where her family came from. A little mining thing out there, some sort of explorator base or something like that. I don't know a lot about it.
Yeah. Well, I'll definitely make sure that we keep an eye on any shuttles that might be going in that direction. If that's somewhere she chose to run to.
Sure, they say strange things from out there happen all the time. I heard that they have a Magos biologist there, if you'll believe that.
Really? As in on Fortis?
Forecast 63, yeah.
Okay.
That's what I heard. One arrived 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Still alive, that sort of thing. They can do those sorts of... I don't really understand the omniscience ways. I'm just a simple, humble secretary.
There's nothing simple about you, Petunia. You're what keeps Father Firebrand going, and we all appreciate it.
Thank you so much. She finishes some keystrokes that finish the kill order on Violeta. Enters it into the system for distribution.
I'm now imagining she's like the old lady in John Wick that types in the excommunic.
No,
That's
I
what
think it's
was
more
just
likely
thinking,
she's
too.
one of the younger workers that work there.
Well,
But
she started with a Southern accent, and now she's got like a New Yorker accent, and now I'm thinking of Janine from the Ghostbusters.
I know. I'm wandering all over the place. You haven't even heard me try to do Australia yet. I was like, what part of the country am I at? What continent am I on with this accent? I feel like, though, it could be that she puts on a fake Southern accent for the father, but really she's got a more urbane, regular... Let's say her character is more complicated than we ever knew.
Yeah.
But it's okay. She's one of the good ones.
She is one of the good... I see you understand how this works, yeah.
All right.
Petunia, you said... Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, James. Go ahead.
No, you go. I was going to take my lead, but if you want to say something else, say something else.
Velamris did pick up when she said something about the Mavens auction, so she's gonna. Petunia, you did say something. The Mavens were doing something.
Oh yeah, the Mavens. They're putting out an auction for some sort of item soon.
Oh,
It's like a box within another box.
wouldn't happen to be locked 3 times, would it?
I don't
Do you
know how
know?
many locks it has. They just said that the outer box is locked.
Mm.
It's one of
Okay.
those, found locker, sight unseen, bidding on it.
Yes. Storage conflicts. I've seen that before. Yes.
Yeah, Munitorum
Interesting.
Wars. I catch it every Friday.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, I've heard about that. Well, thank you, Petunia. This tea is delicious. By the way, did you make this?
Oh, sure.
It's delicious. Thank you so much. I don't think we have anything else, so I just personally want to say thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And hey, if you're walking outside and you see the father, can you give him this and she finishes a dot matrix print off of the kill order?
Absolutely. I believe he was just right down the road talking to some random passersby.
But hold on a sec. He should know what's I mean, like he obviously protected her. He should know what's going on.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying you should give it to him.
I was going to say, did you want us to break it to him, or would you be better off to break it to him?
It would be better that it came from someone other than me.
All
He's
right.
passing the buck.
Don't worry. I'll be there to cheer him up once she's gone.
All right.
All right.
Well, sister, shall we?
Yep. I'll step outside and like grab the first person that I can see.
Oh,
Excuse,
sister.
Yeah.
Blessings of the God Emperor on you. Is there something
And
I can do for you?
Yes. Would you mind passing this note along to Father Private? I need to get going to a meeting.
Sure. I'd love to.
All right. Please give him my best and have a blessed day.
Okay. The camera follows him as he walks up to Father Firebrand and says, "Some random woman on the street stopped me and asked me to give this to you. And she said, 'Have a nice day.'" And he goes, "Okay." And he takes it and he begins crying as he reads it, crumples it in his fist.
All right.
We cut back to the servo skull following the vehicle with Velamris and Holly in it. Where you going?
I was just thinking I was going to ask sister, like, sister, where to next?
Well, I was wondering, would your administratum contacts be able to track down any vessels that might, like, if she was looking to leave the station and go home, we need to identify which vessels or which docking bays might service such transit. We can't leave this to the wrathful righteous on their own. We need to make sure that she doesn't get off the station.
Indeed, I was considering going to the dockyard to see if we can figure out where she might have, or which ship she might have tried to get onto, or who had left most recently or might be leaving soon. I wonder if the dockyard is a better option than going to the admin.
Well, this is your, like, logistics and transportation. I figure were your things.
Yeah, more the paperwork than the actual moving and shipping, but certainly we can try. In fact,
nothing moves without paperwork in the Imperium.
This is true, and that paperwork is probably going to originate in the dockyard unless the
So
game master
glad
says
you
I need to
said
go
that.
somewhere else.
So you're headed to the docks for CT's.
I would imagine CT's Delta.
Yes.
Yeah.
On the way, I do want to. I want to call Rassie on the way as well.
Okay. You call Rassie. Rassie, what are you up to?
I think Rassie has decided to try and write a correspondence to the quartermasters in the guard regiment. So not to the office of the colonel, but sort of like a mid-level quartermaster.
Sure.
Not signing it as Rassie, but signing it as the trading house. Looking to discuss the value of some of the things being removed from the Hulk that might be of interest to the the trading house in exchange for other goods or supplies that might not be readily available to the regiment.
You're looking to purchase filthy lucre from the regiments using cash.
I would like to, like, for one, he wants to try to get some rapport with somebody over there. But he's also trying to see if he can reach out and see if maybe there's any ship munitions being recovered from the Hulk.
Okay. Interesting. You send a message off to the quartermaster, who is a captain. I would like you to make a roll. Let's look at skills. It's almost certainly going to be rapport.
Almost certainly be something that Rassie is bad at, but wants to not be bad at.
Sure. Let's see. Is there a subspecialty? I mean, you probably
Haggle?
don't have any subspecialty.
I do
Haggle
have a
actually
subspecialty of rapport.
Rapport haggle would be correct if you had it, but
I do.
oh, well, go ahead then.
I am going to spend a bait because I would like to get advantage on this.
Okay. I think if you can get a +2 or higher, you'll secure a permanent contact.
I will spend another one to reroll that.
Okay.
Did
'Cause
you
that would
roll
be a
that with
critical
advantage?
failure.
Well, it's 44. It wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, 44
Yeah.
wouldn't matter.
Wait, did it not? Oh, it did.
It did.
I'm just really bad at this.
57 is the lowest you can get.
Do
Oh,
I
57.
try again?
Tell me, have you ever heard the tragedy? Darth Plagueis the Wise.
I play my characters risky.
Okay.
I'm going to try again. This is very important to Rassie.
Sure.
Ooh.
That is a +1.
And
That's
I don't
good
have
enough.
another point to bump it up, so I
It's
guess
good
I
enough
don't
to get it done. You receive a message back from the captain pretty quick. It starts with all the usual formalities that you would require between, you know, just general military communication. Yeah, I don't know. You would know better than me what a military communique looks like, but
Nothing like you would see in the 40K universe.
Captain Yevmar answers back and is just like, we find this proposal to be acceptable. We're adding you to our list of pre-cleared, approved salvage contractors for organizations that want to take part in the bidding. Signed, Captain Yevmar. And I think you can... Oh, sorry, that's something that I do behind the scenes. I'll tell you that you can add Yevmar as a contact, right? That's a thing you can do. And once you have 3 contacts, you can bump up your...
Once
Once you have 3 contacts from the same organization, you can take a downtime action to convert them into a permanent +1 for the whole.
Yes, you can add Captain Yevmar as a 0 level contact.
Does this also include instructions on where to see what is available to bid?
Yeah, it includes whatever the Warhammer 40K version of a PDF is, so probably a bunch of scrolls that include the instructions necessary for the times and days that bidding takes place on, and like potential other pre-cleared groups, so you know who you might be bidding against.
Okay.
You'll be bidding in batch lots. You know, they'll bring a whole bunch of treasure out in piles, and you'll bid on piles for certain amounts of money. So it's also like Storage Wars, except you can see what you're doing.
Okay. I feel like for how hard that was for Rassie to do, that was worth 3 fate to do.
Okay.
God, singing and now managing his own deals. Rassie's moving up.
But that's what Rassie's been doing while you guys went to do your thing.
You finish looking through the scrolls and you get a call from Velamris.
I thought the sister was.
Yeah,
Holly was-
Holly.
You get a call from Holly.
I'm driving. You can't call and drive. Come on. It's not safe.
I just drove through New Jersey all the way to Brooklyn today, so I've seen some shit.
Oh, I see it every day.
Rassie.
Sister.
How hard would it be for you to blow up a civilian shuttle?
How hard would it be to blow up a civilian shuttle?
Yeah.
I thought he said block.
Not hard.
All right. What about make it look like an accident?
That would be harder. But
Not impossible, right?
no, absolutely not.
Excellent. I'll call you back soon.
Okay.
I want to imagine Rassie with like a do-rag on his head and like a bunch of fucking belts of explosives walking in slow motion down a corridor as Beastie Boys Sabotage plays with that dirty fucking bass line at the start.
I think Velamris is sitting in the driver's seat looking at the sister going, Sister, what are you... Holly, what are you planning over there?
Well, I don't know just yet. I'm just keeping options open.
Okay. You can be scary when you want to be.
As Rassie puts down the box, there's a smile on his face like, finally, something familiar today.
Do you have any explosives on your character sheet?
Grenades.
That
let's
is
see.
a grenade is not a anti-space shuttle technology.
Depends where you put it.
I was just going to say, I'm going to tell you 3 words that may help. Location, location, location.
I currently possess 8 demolition charges.
Okay,
Jesus Christ.
that's what you need.
How rare are melter bombs? Anyway,
Probably rare. Well, no, maybe
they're
not.
exotic, in fact.
They're less rare than Life Stealer virus. That's what I'll tell you.
Demolition charges are common. Wow, you can buy them without even requiring a roll.
I also
This is the Imperium, and the Imperium's based off of America.
I also have a las cutter. So I have a sabotage toolkit.
Sure, these are all things that when someone investigates, they'll go, wow, this looks like it got las cut and then a demolition charge was applied. Definitely an accident.
I mean, the thing is that when a shuttle blows up in space after leaving the station, it's not always that easy to recover all the bits and pieces of it.
The Imperium Coast Guard would beg to disagree. And
Are they made as much fun of as the real Coast Guard?
Yeah.
The
Now, when the
Imperial
Coast Guard
Navy Criminal Investigative Services.
Yeah, when the Coast Guard vessel blows up just after leaving the station, that's made even harder.
That's when people start asking questions.
Dude, that's the other thing too, right? Like how much effort is going to be put into a random civilian shuttle?
Anyway. We just need a suicide member of the Wrathful Righteous to run onto the vessel with a explosive vest made for a demolition charge.
Ooh, man. Ooh.
Yeah, we just got demonetized, by the way. Just in case you were wondering when that happened.
As we're pulling into the dockyard, unless there's anything else that we need to do, I am trying to figure out. I imagine there would be some sort of passenger terminal.
Yeah.
And that's where I would like to go. My intent is to figure out, one, ships that have left recently heading to this, what the heck was Forquez 63 general vicinity, ships that are planning to leave within the next couple of days, and if anybody has seen this Violeta.
Okay. You're going into the passenger terminal. Rassie is just starting to leave. Holly, where are you when Velamris is doing this?
So I don't have much else to do, so I'll just probably follow Velamris around, and if I can assist him, I will. Otherwise, I'll just, tag along.
Okay.
I think Holly's would be probably better at talking to people to figure out if Violeta's come through. I'm looking for flight information and things of that nature.
Am I on my way?
If there's a combat map, I would say yes.
What's important is that you're not here, and there's a 0% chance you will be at any point during the following encounter.
Yeah, I just got asked a question about blowing stuff up. I think I'm still in the office, like looking through that PDF.
All right. So let's discuss what this looks like. The way on and off the station and deeper or into the station is the door located right here.
So I have problems with Foundry sometimes. I get stuck at 97%. I'm just trying to reload.
Okay.
See if I can get into the...
You can also check the stream. That would be an alternative way. But based on the way Imperium Maledictum works, there are different zones nearby. Everything in the diagonal left bottom is inside. The upper right two zones, Zone 2 and Zone 3, are exterior. So let's see if I can explain this well. Customs Declaration is a open area. Portage Claim, lounge, anything that seems like the kind of place that wouldn't be walled in is open and available. Anything that has an X is a corridor that has a locked door on it. For instance, you can't just walk into the firefighting response unit. You can't exit the station deeper into waste reclamation or maintenance. This area in the upper right, located like right here, is a large exterior transparent series of windows so that people can look out and see when ships are arriving. The ships arrive from the upper right and dock here, Imperium style, where they connect with the ramp, and then the ramp seals to the side of the ship. And so all of the grayish, the light grayish areas are open space, and the dark grayish areas are a thinly contained vacuum tube to allow people to get in and off of ships. You two have arrived, and you can see that in the lounge there is Violeta sitting in a chair by herself crying, and there are people nearby who are looking at her like she's a weirdo.
Oh, I'm definitely tapping the sister and be like, that's her. What do we do?
Yeah, it's let's work out how. So where would I, if I was going to buy tickets, where would I go here to do that?
I feel like you would buy tickets at a desk before you reached here, you know, like at the ticketing desk, but all you had to do was show up with a servo skull following you and no one questioned anything. They just let you through.
It's more a case of I'd like to try and establish like how long until a shuttle going her way is leaving, like how long is she going to be here for, basically?
In about 2 hours.
Okay, so it's imminent then.
James, are you going to go over there and give her a hug?
No.
It'll be okay. Slow stab.
I see you've seen Dune as well.
Well, no, I was referring to a certain Arthurian era show.
Yes, of course. Of course.
The slow blade penetrates the Kintagi.
That's even better, though.
So does the fast one, yeah.
I think Velamris is kind of stumped at the moment because, one, he wasn't expecting to actually see her right there, right then. And two, there's, I would imagine, plenty of other people, so we can't just walk up to her and, you know, bullet to the face or whatever. Plus, I don't think we as a group actually determined, well, if we did determine anything, it was that we weren't going to be the actual execution instrument.
So here's a couple things.
Avoidable.
She doesn't necessarily know to fear us. The only place that she's seen us before is around Father Firebrand's office. You know, we've been going in and she's been coming out. I mean, we could get Rassie. If she's not leaving for 2 hours, we can get Rassie here in that time. We could also get members of the Wrathful Righteous here in that time. But they, you know, could turn this place into something of a mess.
That's definitely a way to put it.
I feel like if we wanted to try and appear to be on her side and get her away from here, we could, but that then really does tie us to her eventual fate.
Yes.
I'm conscious of the fact that. So, is there like there's probably no is there anywhere private we can step at the moment? Or even if we go back to our how far away is our car from here?
Oh, probably like 5 minutes. Making your way
Okay.
through an airspace port.
Velamris is not going to want to lose eye contact with.
Yeah.
So you are making eye
what's her name?
contact with her.
Well, not. I misspoke. I meant visual contact.
He's looking at her.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not trying to actually get her attention. I'm just.
but
But I
she-
want
but
to keep
she
an
might-
eye on her.
She might notice that. So I imagine you're just like staring at her the whole time. As if
Yeah,
imagine
yeah.
that you're
Yeah.
just
Just
perusing
keeping
the
an eye
room
on-
as, so you'll see if she gets up and leaves.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the stuff I don't want to say with this many with people around here like this.
Too bad we don't have a cone of silence.
If only they kept the cipher skill in this system.
AP, if we went towards baggage claim, would there be a baggage claim terminal sort of thing that might not be presently being used?
Sorry, you mean portage claim?
Sure. I forgot
Yes,
we were
the
in Britain.
portage claim terminal is not being used at the moment. You can see that there are 2 servitors standing around waiting for luggage to arrive so that it can be offloaded here.
All right, let me try and say this in a way that is not going to. It may sound obtuse, but I'm just trying to watch my language. We assume that she got her current condition working where her boyfriend was, right?
That's a safe assumption.
Yeah. Now the other thing is that our friend from yesterday was really keen to get her, and now we find out that that particular group is also represented on her homeworld. So I can't, like, having watched the presentation yesterday, I can't help but wonder whether the problem started on her homeworld and they sent her here to continue the family tradition, and things aren't working out well for her, so she's bugging out. Pardon the pun.
That's a good pun.
Yeah, which could mean that our hosts from yesterday may be more involved in this than we first think, or everything could just be what it appears on face value. But we need to account for the fact that we were told that, as I said, the faction was also on her homeworld.
You know
Well-
that sound that big lights make when you turn them off? That
Yeah.
Yeah.
that begins happening all through the
vapor
terminal.
lights?
Yeah. You see that exteriorly, the accent lighting on the vacuum tunnel turns off. The ration gallery, there's like a little sushi bar of corpse meal. It's going around, slows down, stops, and then all the lights go out there. People begin moving in the darkness. You can hear them, and you can vaguely see them with a little bit of the weird warp light coming from the Space Hulk.
This is not a good sign.
Yeah, this looks like the same thing that happened
Yes,
at our.
indeed.
So hopefully before the effect hits us, can I send some sort of duress call to Rassie?
Send a 911 text.
Yeah, I'll let you make a tech roll.
Yeah, all right.
It's a good thing Velamris always has his auto pistol on.
So do you want to try doing this because you're better with tech?
Ah, yes, I can certainly.
No, you're the one that said you're going to send the message. I feel
All
pretty
right,
solid
and
on this
it's
one.
time based. Okay. Right, I think how far are we? Okay, I will spend a fate point on this one.
Okay.
Okay. With advantage. Okay. Pretty good success.
He gets that message right now.
You don't just send the message. You also notice that the eyes of the servitor, one of the two servitors standing next to you, turns red. And in addition, even in the dim lighting, you're like, what's moving out there? You notice a shuttle drifts, briefly drops something off into the vacuum tunnel, and a red-eyed servitor pops out of the end of the port gangway. I would say roll for initiative, but I actually just need to know what your initiative numbers are.
Yes. I roll exactly... Oh, is it some combat sheet? Yes, I roll exactly 5.
I have 7.
You're acting first.
Me?
Yeah, Velamris.
Okay. I'm going to say something to Holly about how... God. Velamris wouldn't know about the, what is it, the Dark Mechanicus? Or Dark Mechanicum?
Yeah,
or
I've
whatever
heard the
heck
word before.
Yeah, and I'm just going to say Tech Heresy. And do we have any sort of cover? Like, we've got baggage carousel. I'm sorry,
It is
portage
the
carousels.
servitor in particular is standing directly behind you, but you could like leap to the other side of the portage of the portage carousel. Yes.
Well, I don't want to abandon Holly, so I'm going to also indicate in some way we need to move. I would not want to move away from one servitor towards the other one, but we only have this corridor right here. But I can't actually get into that corridor without coming through. Coming on this side.
So
and
you
then going
can
through
just
a locked
move
door.
like here to here. That's moving between one zone, essentially.
Okay.
But you can't, for instance, move down into zone 1 because the entrance is blocked.
Okay. No, I'm not going to move. Not with Sister Holly right there, who can't fight and is significantly smaller. So I'm going to mutter something about Tech Heresy and pull my auto pistol and hope that I can do some damage to this thing.
Okay. You pull your
'Cause
auto
clearly
pistol
it's-
out, and it's
But-
clear to you that this thing is not going to fire.
The pistol?
Yeah.
It's a mechanical device. It's not electronic. Okay, well, he just said I can't do it, so I guess I can't do it. Well, I'm not gonna. I want to throw it at him because that would be funny.
Absolutely.
It's not gonna do anything, and I don't want to lose my pistol. I think at this point, Velamris is gonna say, "Sister, we're fucked."
Is there anything else you want to do?
I don't know if there's a whole lot else I can do other than try
You
to
could
keep
try
this
to
thing.
bludgeon him or punch him or something.
Okay, so so correct me if I'm wrong. Servitors are human. They've just basically been lobotomized and
They were
augmented.
human, yes.
Okay.
They're more machine than man now,
Yeah.
twisted and evil.
They're mostly human, just like Carl Urban.
Well, I guess where is Jesus? Do I even have a decent melee? Oh God. I guess I can try to punch this guy in the face and hope that Rassie shows up anytime soon.
Yeah, there's no chance Rassie's showing up.
I
during this combat.
realized that, but I had to say something.
Can you even try to use the teleportarium?
What teleportarium do you think is going to be used here?
What teleportarium is here?
None.
All right, what do I need to do to punch this guy in the face? I guess first I need to unequip my sniper rifle and
Do a barrel roll. Press C and then R twice.
Jesus
You're making
Christ.
a melee attack.
Melee.
It's so funny that you don't have any melee weapons at all. It's just
I have a knife, but he hasn't. I mean, I've already pulled the pistol and realized it's not worked. So
well.
I don't
I
think
hope
can
you
pull a
know that
knife.
knives can fit in one hand.
Well, I'm just thinking in the order of actions or whatever. I've
I'll
already pulled the
fully
pistol.
let you Metal Gear Solid 3 hold the knife to the bottom of the pistol so you can use CQC.
Okay.
Just like
In that
Big
case-
Boss.
Hold on. Where's my? Here we go.
One of my favorite parts of Metal Gear Solid canon is that it is implied in Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2 that Snake knows CQC and just chooses not to use it because he's too honorable.
Stealth is optional for this mission. I rolled a +2 success there.
Okay.
Damage on the knife is 3. So I guess if I'm not mistaken, because he's got armor or something, I'm sure.
Oh, and then you add your success levels. Sorry. So +2 will mean that you deal 3 damage. Okay. Holly.
Okay. I mean, is it close enough to us for melee hit at the moment?
It's definitely close enough to Velamris since he just melee attacked it. So,
All right.
I think you are probably at what one might call short range rather than immediate.
Okay. Then I will attempt to help. I'll move up and try and bop it with my staff.
Okay.
He said, "Bop it."
You take the staff, you twist it slightly, and it goes, twist it, bop it.
That would be hilarious. I mean,
Now
it has to be a
kids aren't gonna
mechanical
get.
voice.
Yep, that's right.
Pull it.
It has to be a mechanical male voice, though.
Yeah. All right. So we make an opposed test for the melee weapons. Is he wielding a melee weapon?
He has servo claws. I don't know if that counts as a melee weapon. Maybe
I'd say it
does. Okay. And what is the opposed test here for?
So when you make a melee attack, your opponent opposes it with a melee attack of their own or a reflexes dodge roll. If they win, they don't hit you back. It's not one of the systems where the winner hits, but melee
so
attacks.
I need to roll versus Velamris first, then. No, I miss. All right, now I'm rolling versus Holly.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. What did you do to make what were you clicking to make the weapon thing pop up? Because I'm trying to click it and not stop popping up in.
You have to equip it under your.
It is equipped. It's in. I'm in the combat tab. I've got melee weapon staff.
And then just click on the weapon itself.
Yeah, it's not popping up in the.
And the staff doesn't have a weapon.
No,
click on the name of the staff.
Yeah, okay. It's just what the name had to be. All right.
Yeah, it works for me.
Okay, that is a hit.
No,
What's the damage?
All right. So no,
I was doing it.
Oh, that
I
was
was
Rassie,
checking to see
sorry.
that it worked.
yeah. So I missed.
Well, you're -2 versus a -3. Is there any sort of
I still need to
partial?
succeed to hit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if there's some sort of partial outcome.
So the hyper specialized portage carrier servitor looks at you, Velamris, and he Henry Cavill's his arms. He reloads them, so he and then reaches out with his luggage scoop and basically just tries to literally knock your head off in the process. Okay. So you can choose to either make a counter melee attack to block it or try to sidestep with.
Sorry, now that we outnumber him 2-1, we get advantage on more melee tests, by the way.
Okay.
Excellent. If I did I imagine dexterity, but I could be wrong. If I did a dodge move, will that affect my ability to actually attack in the next round?
No, you always get a defensive resistance.
All right. So is it dexterity that I need to roll then for dodge?
It's your choice of using your melee weapon or using reflexes dodge. And on the combat tab, you should see there's a dodge skill at the top next to initiative. You can roll it straight from there.
Run, search, seize, shove, take cover, 2-weapon fighting. Oh, I got to scroll up. Okay. Yeah, I'm, What's defend do?
Defend as an action is...
Choose an ally in immediate range to defend until the start of your next turn. Any attacks on the target ally target you instead. So you could defend Holly and Mr. President for her.
Okay. Does that supersede dodge though?
Yeah, because it's an act. Well, no, it doesn't supersede dodge, but it supersedes your attack because it's.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do a sidestep sort of deal.
Okay. You dodge.
Did it roll?
No, you just gave yourself the dodge action.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
You still need to roll reflexes dodge.
I get it now. Okay. Reflexes. Disadvantage on agility test. Disadvantage on agility test. Why do I have disadvantage and a -10 modifier?
It's because you're overburdened. You've got too much gear on.
Oh, son of a
Yeah.
bitch. Okay.
So by the way, what the dodge action does, when you take the dodge action instead of attacking, any dodge tests you make are an advantage.
I'm sorry. Say that one more time, James.
So there's, because the reason there's a dodge toggle there, the dodge action, is if you take that as an action instead of attacking, then any attacks against you until the start of your next turn, you get advantage on the dodge test to avoid it.
Ah, okay.
But don't worry about that because you're making a dodge test.
And I'm failing horrifically.
It's okay because I rolled a -6. So you see this coming from a mile away and you basically trip yourself up in the process. You've got so much equipment on you. You're like, you fall back on the portage thing and you're just like laying there and he crashes into, he like puts it through the like rubber go way.
Conveyor belt.
Yeah, and so he takes a long time to pull his arm out. The other servitor is going to move in to the area, see the number of people here, and scan with his like red eyes. Wow. People begin freaking out and begin shouting because, you know, there's a servitor attacking 2 random people in the portage claim. Okay. Holly, Velamris, you're at number 7. Go first.
This time I will. What do I want to do here? I'm just gonna keep going with the knife action.
Remember, you've got advantage because we're outnumbered at 2-1 right now.
Okay. Melee. Advantage. So that will be 6 damage before armor.
Well, he gets to make a resistance roll.
Now I believe it's 6 versus armor.
Yeah, you land another knife wound on this thing. You chop into human flesh right up until you hit solid metal underneath it. It's making very little ability to defend itself, but it also doesn't seem you're making very good headway. Anything else you want to do with your actions?
I don't know if there's much more I can do at the moment. I think the biggest threat that Velamris is seeing is this one servitor because Holly is right there. And short of going for that defend action, which doesn't really allow me to hurt the servitor, I don't think there's really much else I can do. James, I believe it goes to you next.
Yep. I will continue bopping.
Continue bopping, he says.
Yeah, there is a hit. Oh no, mine's zero. Marginal failure. Sorry, it's a doggy.
Has no ability to counter it.
I am going to spend a fate to make it 1 degree success, so it does actually hit.
Okay.
Doing 5 damage.
No penetration.
No.
Okay.
Not with the staff.
Attacking Velamris again. With a fumble. I guess I better figure out what that looks like for melee attacks. Is there a specific fumbly thingy? Wounds engaged. Criticals and fumbles. Here we go. Roll on the fumble table on page 355. But this sounds bad for me.
Oh, is that because you rolled 77?
Yeah, it's because I critically failed, but not.
I've got it here. I've got the table here. It's a D10 roll.
A D10 roll?
Yeah.
You're right. It is a D10 roll. Hopefully, I also get a 3. No, I got a 2. Flounder clumsily as you attack, knocking you precariously off balance. You have disadvantage on all tests until the end of your next turn. So he goes in for like a full wind up, you know, and then he falls forward and does like ooh, ow, The other one is going to go with a +20. And yeah, he rolled a 1. The other one walks directly up to Violeta puts the luggage hook around her neck and picks her up and holds her above everyone else, and then turns to go look towards the outside. So he's looking this way. He's looking this way back to the exit. But he has to go all the way around back to the...
he has to come back up this way, doesn't he?
But he, yes,
Right.
but he's looking outside at something right now.
Yeah.
It'll be their turns. Back around to Velamris.
Do I see this? That he's grabbed Violeta?
Yeah. Yeah. He's holding her up, and you can see her illuminated by the red light coming from his eyes.
Can I, since I can't shoot this guy, can I throw my knife, which does have the thrown short range on it? Ooh, am I going to be able to hit from there?
You are not in short range. She's in a different zone.
Okay. This servitor is on its back or front or something, but it's
off balance, but that doesn't mean you weren't. You still have to disengage with him.
damn it. Okay.
Well, you could move without disengaging, but you'll get attack opportunity. But it is at disadvantage on all its actions.
Correct.
Yeah, that is true. Okay, so yeah, I'll move, I guess, to here.
Well, you're changing zones, aren't you? So
I got to get to short range in order to throw the knife. If I understand the range thing here. So do I need to make some sort of movement roll, or is it just you making your attack roll with disadvantage?
Yeah, don't worry about making a defense roll on a -4.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and now that I'm at short range, I would like to throw the knife. Well,
You're not really short range. Well, yes, you're in zone 6 now. Yeah, you move into the area filled with people.
So he couldn't move to engagement range then.
Sorry?
Could he move to engagement range and stab
Obviously,
it?
With the servitor? Yes.
Yeah.
okay, yeah, then I'll do that. I'll
Okay.
go into
You
engagement,
just run right up to it.
and I want to stab it like in the neck, back, shoulder. Try to, if I can't do any significant damage, my intent is to try to effectively force, try to hit like a nerve or something that causes him to drop the lady, the
Okay.
girl.
I'll keep that in mind.
Combat knife. Do I have any sort of advantage or bonus because I'm attacking him from the rear as he's trying to do something else? Can't blame you for trying.
I didn't blame you for trying.
I will spend my third fate point to have advantage though.
Okay. You succeed.
And I hit him in the right arm evidently.
What's the damage?
With the knife is base 3, so 5.
5. Back down to 3. Okay. You hit it in the arm, in the left arm, and it kind of waves you off and looks extremely annoyed.
It's his
Sister
right arm.
Holly.
Okay. I'm also running without disengaging.
Okay. I don't know if I get multiple reactions. I don't think so.
No, you only get one. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. What I want to do, because you said it hooked like a bag took around her neck, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to grab her as though I'm pulling her away from it, but if I then apply ligature to her neck, accidentally, that's that can't be helped.
Okay. You want to kill?
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm trying to choke her by using it as the mechanism of
You can make a Medicaid roll at +20.
Okay. All right.
But clearly we were trying to save her, and oh darn, we didn't succeed.
Yeah. All right. I will spend a point of fate. This feels like an important role. So. Yes.
As you do this, both of the servitors collapse to the ground as you murder her in full view of everyone.
I was helping.
I know it doesn't look like murder to everyone else, but it does look like murder to the one person that cares.
Yeah.
And the two servitors shut down. The lights don't come back on. People are now screaming and fleeing in every direction. Someone standing right next to Velamris is literally just like so shocked. He's just not moving at all. But you have successfully solved this combat, and we'll learn more about what's happening here when we return to the third, which is like a second half.
I really want to look at that guy.
When we come back, There is a spotlight of starlight on the man standing next to Velamris. He holds a hand to his chest and says, "Did I almost just die? What happened? What happened here? It all went down so fast," and someone nearby goes, "What happened?" "I didn't see." And someone else nearby goes, "What happened?" As they begin breaking out into a musical. The musical number is called Recommit, and it's about all of the people here who've been inspired by the fact that their lives were threatened, and they all gaslight each other into joining the Imperial Guard.
I mean, I'll point out, of course, that the servitors attacked. The Mechanicum must be back.
There we go. Yes, yes. Good.
I think Velamris will definitely,
But
at
I
some
want to
point
point
during
out,
this.
you are a background character in this musical, and the passengers are the main characters for this number.
Sure. I think Velamris will have somewhere, maybe in not necessarily the chorus, but maybe like the pre-chorus will have some reference to how the Emperor protects.
Like,
Especially with the theme of how the AdMech is failing the people right now.
it's like the line of them all doing their thing, and they all dance to the side and lean together to where the sister is going, "The Mechanicus!" And then they stand up and dance, and the sister goes back off the screen.
We cut sideways to Rassie. You get the emergency message from Holly.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I'm loaded for bear. I have no idea what's needed. I have no idea where it's needed.
That all sounds right, yeah.
I think the message would have at least would have said where we were.
We said we were going, yeah. We said where we were going.
I mean, you said that you were going to go see Father Firebrand and then asked me about committing an act of patriotic terrorism. You didn't tell me that you were going to the port.
Yeah, I mean, when I said the duress, I sort of I assumed it would include like where we
passenger
were.
terminal.
Oh, okay.
All right, do you just walk out into the street and begin Terminator run?
No, I'm
Tom Cruise running?
I'm going to try to shout to a couple of the facility security to follow me, and I'm going to try to run to the vehicle pool.
They begin Terminator running behind you.
And now it's a running song.
And then, I'm going to try to go to the vehicle pool and see if
You
I
get
can...
to the vehicle pool, there's a bunch of vehicles that are disassembled and being worked on, and somebody's just like, "Hey, stop fucking running in here. Do you people not read signs anymore?"
There's an emergency. Do any of these run?
You need to get somewhere, son?
Yes.
Okay, and you may have noticed that rhyme. As a musical number begins as he hops in a giant World War II motorbike with a sidecar, and he says, "Get in."
I get in.
With the
Musical
security guards,
number
Terminator
called-
running behind the sidecar.
No, I tell the security guys that they need to secure the compound as we rip out.
Okay. Yeah, so emergency lights begin going on. People begin being shuffled deeper into the compound. Shutters begin coming down. Automated turrets begin popping out of sealed areas and turning on. There's like an automated voice that's like, "Darkwind Trading Facility is closing for the day. Please move inside to a emergency shelter." That is the background for a song that's called "Where We Goin'," that is sung by the head of the garage techs as the two of you are zooming, and you keep trying to tell him where to go, but he can't hear it because you keep dodging traffic, or there's a loud explosion, or somebody's like, "Hey, you want to buy a pizza?"
For some reason, the pizza dude's wearing a toga.
What? Sure, I guess.
I was referring to the one of the
Little
gifts that
Primark's
Fallhammer
pizza
put
again, huh?
in.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if there was a facility called Little Primark's Pizza, it would be shut down for heresy, for sure. By direct order of Rabu Guliman. Okay.
It's not even that they're saying that it's a Primark pizza place. It's that they called them Little Primarks.
Ah, yes, of course, of course. Yeah. I mean, a Little Primark is just a space marine, really, so. Rassie, you'll be there in a few minutes. Velamris, Holly, All of your gear has stopped working with the exception of things that you bludgeon people with.
Yeah.
Everyone around you seems to be saying the same thing about their gear, and you are now spreading the manic fear that the Mechanicus has come back and is about to do whatever unholy terrors they've done in the past. Which I would point out, you still don't know what they did to get banned from the station. You've just made it worse.
I mean, I'll point out, like, I'm a Medicaid. Let me get this woman somewhere that, like, I need to, provide life-saving first aid. I'll ask them to help me get her back to our truck where there's medical stuff.
Okay, the service follows you.
Yeah, I don't want to leave the body here, basically. So
yeah.
As you load the body in the truck, you hear a knock come from up top on the turret part, and you hear someone say quietly, "What are you going to do with her?"
Find somewhere I can set fire to it.
You have debts to be paid. This is your decision.
I have a pic recorder. We can always take pictures if we need to. Once it works again, of course.
I don't trust anybody with a contaminated body. We'll have to deal with repercussions, but whatever repercussions we face are not going to be worse than letting somebody that shouldn't have an infected body like this have an infected body.
You don't hear an answer.
Okay.
That was a pretty solid answer.
You drive away, find a nice alleyway to do a body dump. You set it on fire with a little bit of what's fuel called?
Promethium.
Promethium. You pour a little promethium on her body, and
what's
I'm definitely gonna. I want to take a picture of at least the dead body before the disposal. I'm sure that's gonna. I guess as it burns. Take a picture of it on fire.
Now,
so
not a musical. It's just a song on the soundtrack called "As It Burns."
As it burns.
Yeah.
It's one of the, it's like a spoken lyric sort of bit
a little jazz beat in the background.
It's like she's out of our hair from Monsters Inc. once again. All right, so
am I gonna have to watch Monsters Inc?
Have you
I've never seen it.
Oh,
I might have seen it. It's been many years.
Oh my god. Okay. Clearly, well, like I say, I know you have children. Omar does have children, but well, it's like peak Pixar.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll stop referencing it then if you guys are Philistines.
The audience will get your references. All right. My audience is aged between 19 and 50. So these are peak people who have children that have watched Monsters Inc. a dozen times. All right. I'm sorry that I haven't seen it, but
can I have an F in chat for Monsters Inc., please?
You can have an F for you for sure.
Does our vehicle have an internal communicator like a CB radio or something?
Hey, there's the first F.
Damn, that's a good question. I'm gonna say yes.
Okay, so once we're going with it as well, I'll also radio Rassie and let him know what's happened and where we're going and what we're doing.
As that happens, you see Rassie being whipped around beside you as the head of the facilities management pulls up on his motorcycle. He's like out of the saddle, up on his knees. So you see Rassie out the side window, Velamris. He's literally like eye to eye with you right now.
Hey, I found Rassie.
What's the emergency?
There was a couple of servitors that their eyes turned red and came after us. We tried to save Violeta, but unfortunately she passed in the efforts of trying to get her out of the facility.
The two of you have to pull apart, get around traffic.
That's right.
The two vehicles come back together again.
Just stop and say, get in, loose as we go body burning.
Okay, then what is the emergency?
It's I guess it's been mostly resolved.
Yeah, we were under attack, and then it's just stopped after she died.
Okay, we should go back to the compound.
Right. It's got to burn a body first, then yes.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
don't want to burn it in the compound.
Holds up a flamer.
Okay. You stop to burn the body. Do you tell the vehicle team leader what's about to happen, or have him observe this in any way?
I think we could send him back.
Okay.
I think I'll give him.
He gives you guys this, and he goes, "I'll see you in the finals, bitches."
I think Velamris actually laughs. He was like, "He's got no chance."
What of us getting to the finals?
Somewhere, an inquisitorial interrogator chuckles silently for the first time.
I don't ask any questions. We slop the body somewhere. I'll burn the shit out of it.
You're in an alleyway. You burn the shit out of it. You take a bunch of pictures of it.
All right.
All right. I guess now we go back to
Yeah.
the office. We
As
can at
you
least take
begin
one task
driving
off of
away,
our
you can
task
see that
board.
there are a bunch of Imperial Navy armsmen in vehicles going directly towards the port. And they begin setting up barricades, and you hear like loud hailers that are like, "All traffic to the port has been cut off. Please take one of the cable chains to CT's Beta if you'd like to have your flight rescheduled."
Or the little clicker boards click over to delayed.
I see you've been in an airport before.
And they're
Any
all
airport at any time.
they're all the flip ones. They're not digital.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I would definitely avoid all of that traffic as I maneuver our way back to the office.
Make it back to the office. The facility is in full lockdown, and you have to give over your ID and submit to a retinal eye scan before they allow you in.
Oh, this is going to be fun. These always hurt. You'd think we'd figure out a way to make this. You'd think we'd have figured out a way to make this not hurt.
Safety is more important than your comfort.
Okay, I'll give you
the
that.
trading house is more important than your comfort.
I'll give you that one, but really, maybe put a leather pad or something in here as he sticks his eye up to the reader.
I've done this plenty of times. You'll get over it.
I suppose.
Just remember, your discomfort is in service to the Emperor.
The Emperor protects. Yes. Now, he may have sounded a little flippant when he said that, but he actually meant it.
So, what exactly happened?
Well, we were going to see if we could work out when or where she might be leaving, and we saw her there. And then suddenly the lights went out, similar to what happened before. 2 servitors attacked. And I managed to strangle her out using the servitor. And as soon as she was dead, they stopped.
We could probably expect some kind of retribution then.
I think perhaps not. Well, maybe. I'm sure somebody will be disappointed in this outcome.
I mean, it wasn't trying to kill her. It was trying to capture her and take her out. So either it was the Mechanicum we were dealing with and we were betrayed because they tried to kill us at the same, like literally, like the servitor tried to kill us before the other sort of went for her. Or there are multiple factions of the Mechanicum in play.
They did say something about a rogue element, did they not? That caused the blackout at her apartment. And we had another very similar blackout event happen right before us, all around us.
Well, it seems that something that they said we didn't need to worry about has become a worry.
Yes, from now on, when somebody says, "Don't worry," I'm going to worry.
When you say that, Liturgical appears behind you and says, "Don't worry, I filled out your paperwork for you today."
Which paperwork? Liturgical?
This paperwork. And it gives you your daily sheet that you haven't done in days.
And now he's worried that I've been docked in some way.
I'll go over. Go, sorry.
I'll unless there's anything else that security staff should know, I'll recommend that they stand down the alert, but increase screening on any servitors that may enter or exit the facility.
Okay. I mean, you have to explain why there was a security alert to someone, like the head of security. Yeah, like you called a security alert, and now you're like, you can step it down. And one of the guards is just like, do you have the authority to do that?
So he's not going to walk up to a random guard and be like, "You're good, man." He knows that he's going to have to fill out like a whole.
The drill is over.
Yeah, don't worry. The drill's over.
But he's going to fill out a whole report and everything about like, this is the information that I received. These are the conditions that I believe were warranting a warning. My recommendations are as follows based on the information I have. The Emperor protects, nothing like, hey.
It takes you 20 or 30 minutes to do this, and these guys are all at the highest level of alert. Fingers on triggers, sweating. You hand this to the person, the head of security, and they're just like, okay, let's stand down to standby level 1, come down from Black Omega. Okay.
Black Omega.
You hear someone over the, Vox sailors just like, Black Omega rescinded. The trading house is open for business again. Our apologies for anyone who's been trapped inside the facility. Head by the cafeteria for 1 free meal of your choice. Drinks are not complimentary.
Here, have this dry, starchy stuff, but no water.
I see you've been to a bar before. Listen, that one was way more clever than even I give myself credit for.
I go over to our job board. I remove sort out Violeta, and I put up 2 new jobs, which is fix things with the Mechanicum and fix things with the Astra Militarum.
Ooh, okay.
But with no like I don't put an ETA in there at the moment. They're just sort of background tasks.
Sorry, fix things with Mechanicum and fix things with
the Astra Militarum.
Astra Militarum. Okay. Okay.
I have good news.
Okay.
Oh,
that's good.
I was thinking about how we were not going to be cooperative with the biologists the way they wanted us to, and that was sort of my idea for where we were going to get ship munitions. And we know that we've got, well, at least I am sort of an issue with dealing with the Lord Colonel. So instead of speaking with the Lord Colonel, I spoke with somebody who worked, one of the mid-level quartermasters over there, Captain Yevmar. And I got the trading house added to the pre-cleared salvage bidding. So as they pull things out, we can try to bid and acquire ship munitions that they might recover from the Hulk.
Okay.
Well, that sounds kind of like a win to me. Well done,
But what are we bidding with?
Oh, I didn't bid on anything.
Yeah, but I mean, if we want to bid on something, we need to know what we're bidding with.
I thought that, if there's something that we want, like the munitions, we could look at what we had at the time the munitions were available and make a determination of what we thought we could bid at then.
So we just talk about the current status of the resources that we're working with. So let me go back to the notes on what we had. Was that pinned? I don't think it was pinned, was it, AP?
I thought it was.
Which thing are we pinning? Oh, the stuff.
Okay. So you've claimed the 5-minute conversation with the Lord Sector.
Yes.
We haven't done anything with the 100 Sets of Power, have we?
I think we just verified that they're there in their service.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you played with them for a while.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
A dance off, I believe.
We haven't used the user service of the Guild of Infomongers. We haven't used the planetary weather satellites. We would need to use the invitation to the Mammoth auction to be involved in this. We've used the 2 million. Well, we plan to use the 2 million head of Crueltas Porcine, and we may need to use the money if we are paying the
Navy.
The Navy. Yeah, we haven't worked out whether we're going with the Navy or with the Ecclesiarchy to move the Porcine. And we won't know until after the basketball game.
Yeah. But I figured, this might give us a lead on things coming out of the Space Hulk, including a possible lead on munitions.
No,
I don't think we have one right now.
Good initiative.
Well,
It said while they were a forklift was attempting to smush them all. When I went through the PDF, were there any ship munitions currently like on the docket or whatever?
There are, but they are munitions for Xenos ships.
Okay.
It's like whatever orcs fire, like DACA ammunition or something. Things that
Cheaper.
they've liberated from other raiding groups.
It's probably cheap knockoff, not up to standard code munitions.
I see you've used a Chinese weapon before. Yeah.
There was something else I wanted to talk about, but it's something for our private time after our daily duties are over.
Just don't say don't worry.
Oh, I'm worried.
Oh, well, in that case, I'm definitely worried.
Are you okay with me moving? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, like, if we've got spare time today, maybe you guys should practice for the big game tomorrow.
That's a great idea. Do we have anything else going on today? I don't even know what, how far into the day are we now with AP?
Afternoon.
Half? Okay. I guess maybe looking at liturgical, who's just going to tell us do work.
And what's our next step to make headway on one of these tasks?
Well, the next thing is tomorrow at the game. When you're playing, I'll be meeting with the ecclesiarchy to see if I can get another option for moving the porcine here. We can't do much else. We can't do much else with the equipment until we hear back from the engineering team. And yeah, we're still looking at options for the munitions.
I've got some paperwork to fill out.
All right.
But I know it's not specifically related to the trading house, so if there's anything that I can assist with, please.
I can't think of anything else right now to try to find another route for those munitions.
Is there like a typing pool or something in the office?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like something with like a large quantity of, relatively drollish work, basically. I would love to go into there if they're going to do some practice, and I would like to try and recruit some replacement cheerleaders. see if I can get them excited.
Unfortunately, they don't work in your
of...
department, so.
But the thing is, if they're not already playing in the game, who's the matter if they cheer for?
Oh, I see.
They could be stadium owned, or not owned, but stadium managed cheerleaders.
Sure. You don't even need to roll. People will just show up half-heartedly to cheer for you because they're interested in your team.
Okay. And I'll check the sign-up board for the musical too, since it's been a day.
Yeah, there's so many signatures on it. Everyone who's appeared in the musical today have all names. Even civilians who've never had any access to this building have their names on it. And at the bottom, just like Hideo Kojima, my name is on it as well, in both the writer, director, and producer spots on it.
All right. All right. So tomorrow we produce the Meraviglia. There's a 40K reference you probably don't know.
I don't.
That during the Horus Heresy, the Meraviglia was a musical production put on board the ship of the Emperor's Children. What's his name? I can't remember the name of the Primarch of the Emperor's Children now. Who turns us on Slanesh. But basically, the musical corrupted the entire crew of the ship and turned them to the worship of Slanesh. It became a giant murder orgy.
Yeah, I've heard Beyonce before. Yeah. Fulgrim?
Fulgrim. Yeah.
That was my guess initially. I wasn't really sure, but he is the insane one. So
that's right. Yeah, yeah, and he staged a musical production, which
he definitely seems like a say my name kind of guy. Okay, we are going to cut to two scenes at the same time. We see Rassie and Velamris at the court wearing headbands and your custom printed jerseys, dribbling the ball. We've got the three very fit, very competent Imperial Guard troopers there who are all psyching each other up by like playing rock, paper, scissors and just being like, we're number one. We're number one. Let me check my notes to see who you guys are up against. Where did I put this list of people that you were fighting? It's the Savant team. So you're up against the Savant that you had the musical with earlier, Rassie. I assume you're the center of your team and he's the center of their team. And he's wearing big plastic goggles and like orange mouth guard, and he's just like, I'm taking you down, Rassie, okay? Sorry about this, old pal. He's like a full foot shorter than you.
Jesus, that's short. That's super short.
If he tries to start us on, he definitely gets sent off for a stay in your lane violation.
We cut sideways to Sister Holly. You are, after about 2 hours of waiting, you are seated before a table. You are, it's like a arc table, and you're seated on the crescent side, and they are seated along the outside. They are introduced as the Preacher Evangelial, the Missionary Lila, and the Crusader D'Angelo. And the Missionary Lila, sitting in the middle, seems to be acting as a sort of leader for this committee. And she looks at you and says, we have looked over the paperwork that you've submitted. Are you all right with being referred to as the petitioner for the rest of this hearing, with the understanding that the subject is the person that we are speaking on, Father Firebrand?
Yes, although I would like to have it known that I am petitioning on behalf of the Chaderius Darkwind trade dynasty, along with my own role as where I'm currently placed in my role for the Order of the Hallowed Glass.
She turns and looks at the two other people seated at the table. They both nod, and then she points to someone in the corner who is making a scroll of this. He points to someone next to him who is making a copy of everything the first guy wrote. And she says, very well, this committee is in session. Is there anything further you would like to add beyond your petition, petitioner? Any oral address you would like to add weight to your goal?
So just to clarify, Arthur, so I've obviously, my pitch is that the ecclesiarch should make ecclesiarchy should make use of the wrathful righteous by taking them from the station and going and deploying them against the enemies of the Imperium.
Right, and you're going to stop them at Crueltis to pick up your pork on the way here.
Well, the idea is that whatever ship comes to collect them, the payment that the Darkwind dynasty seeks is simply to have whatever ship that's coming here to pick them up come via Crueltis and bring our pork with us.
Okay.
No, I just want to say that I have seen the holy work that has been done on this station until now. I've only been a visitor here for some few months, but there is a fervor here that warms my heart, having come from a shrine world, and I believe that this fervor is best placed in the path of our enemies. There are people here who would sacrifice all to raise the glory of the God Emperor. And so I think that my petition speaks mostly for itself, but I just need you to hear in my own words that I honestly believe that these people will do the Emperor's work. Or die trying. Sorry, and die trying.
Gotta have that grim with the grim dark.
I would like a lore theology roll.
Okay. Which I had to move to a different browser to make it work with the combat, so I needed to find which browser I was in the game in. All right. So I'm assuming I can add my
yes
Ministorum influence. Yes. Are there any other talents that would be relevant here?
I don't suppose mentioning the rogue trader helped at all, did it?
Okay, so would you say this is a test involving my faith?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to use Faithful Imperial Cult once per session, which lets me add my willpower bonus and success levels.
That's pretty good for this, yeah.
Yep.
Jesus.
Okay. All right, let's give this a go. So, Law, Theology. I will spend my last fate point for the session on this because this is important to me. And so I'm adding, what if I roll plus 4 degrees of success?
Okay, plus 6 degrees of success. Everyone here is astounded by your fervor. You may add 2 of these 3 individuals as contacts for your organization. The Preacher Evangel, the Missionary Lila, or the Crusader D'Angelo. You don't have to add them yet. You can talk to them and figure out who seems the most useful to you. All of them seem very impressed, especially D'Angelo, who's, you're talking about your faith and like the faith of the local people. And he's like, exactly. That's what I want to hear. These people are primed and ready. I'm really impressed. My people have had a crusader here for almost 500 years, waiting for a rogue trader to finally get one of those human worlds or one of those Xenos worlds, and we just crusade. We just fully crusade, take it over, the Fraterus is legal now, just in case you haven't heard that. So I'm thinking, we go out beyond. We go beyond just as soon as your rogue trader locks it in there. Really just establish ourselves, put down any resistance, break a few heads, set some people on fire, just to send a message. Lila says, right. Your faith is very strong, Sister Holly, and it speaks well. I have to say, from what I saw from your record, I wasn't expecting this, and you've really impressed me today at this table. Therefore, I am, and she looks at the other 2 and they begin nodding, I am proud to announce that we will be forming a blue ribbon commission to investigate this committee to ensure that we have engaged in a purity of thought and action in embarking on this particular crusade. We will include the petitioner and the subject of these discussions as targets of the Blue Ribbon Commission. We are allowing for 3 months to fully execute this, and we will be hiring outside contractors to accomplish it. At that time, on the assumption that we are all sufficiently pure of faith and thought, we will execute a tribunal of inquiry into the public to determine the influence of the subject, and adjoining this inquiry will be a subset of inquiries into the worthiness and worth of the public as members of the Fraterus militia in terms of training, equipment, morale. She ends there and eventually goes, Zeal? Have to make sure Zeal's included. And you can see that one of the scribes like X's out the dot he just placed and then adds and Zeal. Lila nods and says, allowing for the industry standard of 94 days to complete that, we will review the documentation produced by the tribunal and discuss its worth for a period of no less than a week. D'Angelo cuts in and says, better make it 2 weeks. My schedule is fully booked during that cycle with genital mutilation of non-believers in the asteroid field. Very well, agreed. At that time, we will reach out to the Administratum for informal polling of ombudsmen to determine the impact of losing so many citizens on sites Beta, Gamma, and Delta's productivity. Let's tell them we want an answer in 2 weeks and assume that they'll actually give us an answer in 3 weeks, knowing the speed of the local bureaucracy. So convene the council 3 weeks after that point. Should damages to the local population be negligible and acceptable, we will commission a formal polling of the ombudsman set 4 weeks later to officially confirm our findings for the paperwork. At that time, we will charge the arbitres with performing an inquest on any that they deem provisionally worthy to join the militia to ensure their final acceptance and summon the fleet to begin loading within 6 months. Sister Holly, that should round out in about a solar cycle or so.
I am surprised we're consulting the Administratum, since it seems we've become the Administratum. I don't recall stories of the God Emperor polling and forming tribunals before he launched the Great Crusade to reunite humanity after the Age of Darkness. How have we fallen so far from the holy light of terror that we would cover ourselves in such doctrine in order to achieve what we have, which is before us, which is a fervent group of people who will find their fervor waning if they are submitted to tribunals and committees in order to establish their worth when they are here armed and ready to crusade. I don't understand why we are worrying about the impacts when the Emperor provides. I obviously, this tribunal, also this group knows what needs to be done, but I am truly shocked that when we've been offered such a boon that we would turn back on it and question it so frequently and so fervently. Have we lost our faith?
What a great speech. I'd like you to make a presence leadership, which specifically calls out having a task completed in a record time or achieving a desirable goal.
Okay, no worries.
I feel like you should get a bonus or something on that. That was such a well executed speech.
Yeah, that's about what I would expect from someone who questions their superiors. You have any fate points left?
No, I've used them. I use them to get plus degree 6 degrees success previously.
Sure.
Yeah.
Vandriel, the preacher, clears his throat and says, the petitioner must recognize that things are done as they are done. Faith and fervor is good and all, and we certainly encourage it. But faith alone will not cause a man to step onto a boarding dock onto a ship. The ship must arrive, and that person must be pure of faith and filled with equipment. Does the petitioner have any other reprimands for a council of their theological, secular, and non-secular superiors?
No, I have nothing further to say to this committee.
Lila says, very well, Sister Holly. Your fervor should be commended. I'm sure that in time you'll begin to understand the bureaucracy needed to keep faith running. Now,
Very
would
well.
you like to select any two of these people to join your contacts list?
So the Crusader,
The
I think the
Angelo.
Crusader, yeah, and the Missionary.
Okay. Lila, the missionary.
Yeah.
So not the guy who smacked you down when you got a -3. Yeah, not that guy. No, that's crazy. That's crazy. You know what else is crazy is I'm going to snake in the rules for the basketball game now that your fate is all gone, motherfuckers.
I think Rassie has some fate.
I think I'm the only ones who use fate.
No, I'm out of fate.
Velamris blew through that shit.
All my fate, I think, was 2 were gone in the first hour, and then the third one in that fight.
Okay,
I spent all of my fate on one roll.
Oh, that's right, you did.
As I said, you guys blew through it. I've sent the skills that you can roll here.
All right.
I will roll for the troopers. You need at least one success to move ahead in the tournament between the three of you.
Awareness, sight, dexterity, melee, brawling, present. I am going to roll dexterity, even though I don't have the sleight of hand.
Yeah, so it's just watching me fail to spell guard really badly.
I have it in my notes. I don't know if it applied only to me or if it applied to all of us, but I have a +10 to the basketball game in my notes from like 2 sessions ago, I think. Although I apparently am over in.
Oh yeah, wasn't that for like the first rolls we did when making the team that we succeeded well enough that we got a +10?
Yeah. Although apparently I'm freaking over encumbered. So I may have to reconsider that.
I love the idea that you go out onto the basketball game
Carrying
fully
the
wearing
sniper rifle.
100 pounds of equipment.
Yeah,
I feel like it's no stretch of the imagination that you don't bring your guns to the court.
yeah, I'm just gonna click normal on this
Sure.
dialogue box here. I am gonna add that +10 though.
Really
Modifier.
looking for any success here at all. Just a +0. Okay. +3 is good. Rassie?
Here we go.
Rassie, you get completely clowned on.
You
know,
got
this
fake
guy's
points, though.
even shorter
No, I
than
don't.
you, and he treats you like you're the Washington Generals, and he and he's the Harlem Globetrotters. He's literally like holding a ball and spinning it in one hand, like away from you, and you're like trying to get it, and he's just like boop boop bop boop ba ba doo doo boop boop. Velamris, the rest of your team is failing miserably. The score is so low. It's like 0-0 at halftime. And then at the last minute, out of nowhere, Suprenza sets you up for an alley-oop. You're soaring through the air. The ball comes into your hand. It's spinning. It stops. It feels perfect as it stops. You're in the perfect position. You shatter the backboard as you bring it down. The score, 2-0 after a full hour of game.
Razzie's just like, good defense.
I think at some point Velamris just comes up to Rassie and be like, yo, I just had the game-winning shot. Amazing. I'm so out of breath right now.
I hate you at Corpse Starch Bar.
There you go.
Okay, you've beat the Savant Loris, which means you are up next week against the Garage Band.
The Garage Band. Great name. That's amazing.
Let's wrap things up. I would be willing to offer you all 50 XP for today's session. For sure. Let's see. I can probably get you a little extra there. Let me see what the union's got for you. I can also offer you it's been a little while since we've tallied it in. Let's get you 7 days of your pay grade, which is the second level pay grade. Because it's been a week since you've been paid.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I can offer you this egg in this trying time.
700 solars total.
Okay. So 50 XP, 35. You said 700?
Yep.
Just in time. Oh, dear. What do I have? Go.
I think I can offer you your short-term goal, complete a non-shooting task for the trading company for you, Rassie.
Okay.
Because you got the basketball game organized and you got the first game out of the way. So you will also get 50 XP for that, but you will need a new short-term goal.
Yes, I'll come up with one that's okay.
The start of the next session will be your discussion with Sector Lord Aulus Sejanus, and you will be covered in sweat from the game unless you make rolls and spend time tactically to get dressed up in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, that's what I alluded to it because we were talking during the middle of our duty hours.
Yeah.
But I wanted to bring in Sister Holly and
Sister Holly is so busy right now learning about inquests and blue ribbon commissions. By the time she gets back, your discussion will be over. I'm sorry, I did this on purpose to make sure that you wouldn't have someone there to cheer you on.
Well, okay. Well, then I guess I'll bring in Velamris so we can put together and try to write this brief so that I can try to talk quickly and organize through everything we have.
Okay.
I'll bring a towel to help you to make sure you wipe the sweat off your face before you step onto the hallway.
There was a science fiction fantasy series about how towels are important.
I'm missing that reference, but go ahead.
Yep.
That's Hitchhiker's Guide.
Yeah, Hitchhikers.
Oh, yes, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
This will be interesting.
Always have a towel.
Any post-show thoughts about this episode?
Oh, I'm super salty.
Are you?
What are you salty about for this one?
Oh, just putting all my single session resources into getting an astounding success, which turned out to actually be a narrative failure, and then being asked to make another roll.
I pre-wrote that whole.
That still feels like a failure. That's what I said. What I set out to do would not be achieved despite an astounding success. And then when I role played through, getting no bonus, like even advantage would have changed the result there.
Okay.
So, but I could be salty. That's all right. You don't need to. Yeah.
So I have a question. So for next week, do I need to write like a 4-minute speech?
Yes, I'm going to time you. You'll have 5 minutes.
Okay.
The longer you take, the more people will die.
Okay. But also, you have a 5-minute.
Yeah, you got to use it. You got to use the whole 5 minutes.
Time well.
You got to use the whole 5 minutes. Yeah.
Be aware that the librarian is powerful enough to receive the communication from your psyker, but both sides require sacrificial psychers to fuel this communication. I have looked it up, and the only instance I can find of direct point-to-point communications instantaneously are like Necrons and the Grey Knights. So you're basically at like Grey Knight / Primarch level psyker material here. So their heads will be exploding left and right the longer you talk. So people will die so you can have this conversation.
I'm also, because I feel like it's a gotcha coming in, this 5-minute conversation, that probably means that if I'm wanting to hear any kind of response, it'll also probably need to be within that 5-minute window.
Yeah, I would imagine
that's pretty reasonable to assume, yeah.
So, okay. I will begin my preparations.
I'm sorry that the administratum and the ecclesiarchy failed you today, James.
Oh, they will get theirs.
Holy shit! Oh my god!
Yeah, it's preventing me from achieving 2 of my goals. So even though I can go and get the quarters port sign by using the money, I'm going to have to burn some stuff in order to make people feel Holly's rage. Because the other thing I'd promised the Arbites I was going to get rid of the Wrathful Righteous.
Mm-hmm.
So the only thing I can do now is to turn them against like basically Holly's vengeful. So to make everybody regret this, she's going to try and turn the Wrathful Righteous against the Arbites so that they kill each other off. Yeah.
I did not realize that writing 2 paragraphs of bureaucracy babble was going to end with James being like, this is not Holly's final epilogue song, the Hellfire from Notre Dame. This is James. Like, there's the fireplace behind him, like, Hellfire.
And like up to the point at which they come to blows, Rassie's training their leaders, so more Arbites are going to die. Oh, it's gonna be nuts.
Oh, we're gonna have to try to get Rassie to pull a big spoon, Seth Kabrinsky style, and start training them poorly.
No.
There's no Seths in this house.
Plus, Rassie is too proud to do a bad job.
No.
Intentionally, anyways.
I just wanted to reference yet another AP show.
I see.
I mean, Holly's definitely like religiously incensed that that they turned this into a
bureaucratic
a bureaucracy. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Their job is to manage a frontier town full of a bunch of people, and they're really worried that if you take away the mining population, the whole town will collapse.
Yeah.
You're not concerned about that. You're concerned with the faith and health of the Imperial citizens and accomplishing your goals like a spider web.
Yeah, that's right. I just see I've got three people I need to turn on each other. Being the priest and the missionary and the crusader. That's it.
They're good administrators, and you don't care about administration. You care about XP. I understand, James.
I care about expeditiousness.
Sure, I got it. Yeah. They want to make sure all of the I's and T's are dotted and crossed.
Yeah.
They're worried about liabilities.
Oh, yeah. You know what the liability insurance is on 2 million heads of cultist porcine walking down a gangway? Can you imagine what an asteroid of 100,000 people are going to smell like with 2 million heads of cultist porcine in it? In a sealed air conditioning system?
I was going to be more careful in the future about blowing all my resources on results that are already predetermined.
There it is. There's the song. Listen, if you had succeeded on the second roll, I was going to throw everything out.
Yeah.
I was going to be like, sure, your faith inspires us. We're going to move ahead without all the paperwork.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that you blew everything on the roll that kind of didn't matter as much.
So in the future, I just say, what do I roll to change this rather than actually role playing it out?
You want a quick lunch?
I'm just expressing my thoughtness whether I'm entitled to.
I'm not silencing you. I'm trying to enhance the experience.
Just remember, he said we're starting the session with this 5-minute speech thing that I have to get through, and there's no way I'm walking out of that with any fate points at the beginning of the session.
Right. I'm just letting AP know that he called the thunder. He's got to ride the lightning.
I'm on notice now. You've seen all of these nice little NPCs I've placed, and you're going to try to get them to all murder each other. Yeah, I get it.
Oh man. I mean, I'm going to try to write well enough that maybe I can argue some kind of bonus, but Rassie is so bad at this. Rassie just wants to do it.
And I don't think Velamris is going to be much help other than, like, if it was administration type, making sure paperwork is filled out correctly. But you're over here trying to write what you want to say, and that's going to be...
So here's what I was thinking, right? Like, for trying to wrap both characters in and obviously being denied one of them because they're busy, was to ask the sister to help with speech writing to try to get some sort of bonus there. Sure. And to work with Velamris and all the information that he stole from the Administratum to try to make sure that, like, the information presented is compelling enough to give some kind of bonus. That was sort of the thought, was to try to see if I could make something happen around that to help out with my abysmal social rules. We'll see how this pans out.
It will be interesting. There will be sweat.
And my poor sister's going to be subjected to me practicing speech writing with her again.
So if you help him, Velamris, the character with the highest skill will make the test with advantage. But the person assisting has to have at least one advance in the skill being tested. So have you advanced? I think probably it's going to be a charm roll.
Charm is under what? Rapport? I do not have. Is that rapport?
I don't have it, so I don't know where it is.
I don't have charm either.
Well,
You have some XP. Would you
I was gonna say, you got
brother out?
XP.
It'll
I
only
can-
cost you 50.
Yep,
to get
rapport
away.
charm.
Oh boy.
Son of a bitch. It's not one of the ones I wanted to buy, but I can buy it.
Yeah, I know where all my XP's going.
If you do that, and the two of you speak together, whoever has the highest skill will make it at advantage.
All right. So let me see if I'm doing this right.
So you better
Foundry.
write a speech for two people. All I'm saying is I want a little razzle and a little dazzle. I want a little pen and a little teller.
How do I add? I don't remember how I did this a couple weeks ago. If I add, is that I gotta hit the plus? So rapport, create specialization, charm, submit. Now I have charm at the same level as rapport. And now I have 50 less experience points.
You got it?
I think so.
And
Any
your dump stat was fellowship, right?
I wouldn't call it dump. It was just the one that got the lowest roll because I did if I remember right, I did a straight roll,
What's your fellowship?
26.
Okay, so I'll be
So
making
this-
the roll with advantage,
Yeah.
Okay.
and I'm spending all of my XP.
What's that going to get you? What's your numbers?
Here, let me spend it real quick because I'm not even gonna have to think about this over the week. Let's see, 4.
I just wanted to roll it just to see what it would look like, and it looks like a failure.
Spending all of my current XP. I'll be rolling with advantage for a 47.
You better get on your knees and pray to your new god Magikarp. That's all I'm saying. 47 ain't really that good.
No, but it's what I can muster.
All right.
And we know there's no way I'm walking out of this with any fate points.
If your speech is rock solid, I'll think about giving you a bonus. There's
Okay.
one thing you should know, though. It is an opposed test, and you are rolling against the disciplined composure of the Sector Lord.
So
you don't
somewhere
just
in the
need to
70s.
pass. You may need to pass by a lot.
Right.
Yeah, it turns out that convincing the most powerful person for 50 star systems is kind of difficult. But look, let me say this. If you succeed, the rewards you reap will be major.
Indeed. I imagine they would.
Well, I think I've established on this channel that I definitely roll the odds and take high risks with my characters. If this goes badly, it'll go really badly.
All right. Are we good for next week?
I am.
I believe so.
I think I am.
Okay, get this added. Calendar then. What is it? 7th?
It's the 7th.
Okay, got it in there. Friends at home. And what name am I gonna make for this episode that's musical inspired? That's also a Warhammer 40K reference, kind of. I don't know. What's a good musical? Now that's a better question. You know, like Rent or Cats. It's kind of
It depends what you like.
I think it has to be something that could relate to today's session.
Well, I mean, there's the music. One of my favorite music was one called "How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying," but it's a bit long, title-wise.
I think that's longer than YouTube's gonna let me put in there.
Yeah.
How to succeed at business without even trying.
Without really trying. Yeah.
Oh, I got it. Death of a salesman.
Death of a salesman.
Yep, Death of a Salesman. That's the name of the episode. All right. We'll see you, audience.